Well, okay, okay. Welcome in, everyone. Hello, King of the Barbecue. Sorry it took so long. I was letting ads play out, which is quite unfortunate. If I had the choice, I would not allow ads on my channel. I would honestly return to non-affiliate if I could. But welcome in. My name is Vesper Fortune, Bat of Fortune, and we are doing writing advice today. But welcome in. Welcome to the Sacred Void. Welcome to my shop. Hope you are doing well. Hope everyone is doing well. But yes, welcome in, welcome in. I am just finishing up all of my prep, all of my P-stream prep. Just doing that. But I'll give some time for people to like uh oh I did not have my music on. I'll give some people time to like vibe in and walk in and street and come in. Oh my god. The brain the brain hurty. But thank you everyone who is joining me. I I did get a lot of sleep last night. It was one of those nights. Not well, I was actually working on my mods and stuff, but it was mostly the robot playing Baldur's Gate 3. That was mostly what was happening. But I hope everyone else is having a good day. I'm trying not to involve myself in drama, though. That's difficult as it always is. I'm not gonna bring it here, though. This is a drama-free zone. But, I'm just having a nice day. Let's see here. Derp. The brain. I'm going to be very happy to talk about writing today, because I enjoy writing. Despite how much writing I don't do, I do enjoy talking about the process, and I enjoy actually writing, mostly the more editing part, though. Like, like when I actually get down the ideas in my head onto the page. And like, just seeing that, and I also really enjoy it when people read it. Which is why I post stuff still. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy talking about the craft a little today. I'm not sure what we're going to do after that, because I'm not sure if I'm going to do that for like 3 whole hours. I'm not sure if I can do that for 3 whole hours. But, whatever we do, I just want to have some fun, be chill with it. And not, uh, just not worry about too much. But, yeah. Writing advice today. Oh, I should actually get that up. I should get that up. Hold up. Where is it? Yeah, I can at least do writing advice. I'm still a little bit, I'm still a little bit miffed that, I was asked to help with niece Bat's, homework. I was asked to help with niece Bat's homework, and I was just a disaster. But it was algebra. It was algebra. And you know how that is. Algebra making you do the hard things. Oh, that's not my thing. That's not my thing. That's my thing. Actually, I think I'll stay like this for the rest of the stream, or until I have to shift to a different subject. And also, I'm gonna check my telonym though. I think my telonym is empty. Like, oh yeah, that bitch be empty. That bitch empty as hell. That bitch like me. That bitch empty. There is nothing in that crystal ball. Absolutely nothing. But, like I said. Okay. Well, oh my god, why is my life so boring? I don't have anything to talk about. I feel like I feel like I'm in my MTV drama era again, where I want to talk about drama, but it's inappropriate. Back when I was in the drama era, I was allowed to talk about drama, even though it was inappropriate. The Jerry Springer era that we don't talk about, the Tila Tequila era, the I Love New York era, man, those were days. Those were days. Okay. But, well, since we're talking about writing, I'll talk about the book that I'm reading. I'm reading The Children's Hospital, and it definitely feels like a Stephen King book. I hate comparing others to others, but this writer is definitely going for like a Stephen King kind of feel. It feels like at the start, but they kind of shifted over to their own style. Like it's about the main Stephen King thing about is that it's very Christian-y by accident. Well, by purpose. Oh no. I don't want to hear myself. Not right now. I don't want to hear myself. But it starts out very Stephen King vibes, but then they move on to like their own sort of style. It's about this children's hospital that kind of ends up being the Noah's Ark for an apocalypse. A Noah's Ark for an apocalypse. And one of the main characters, her brother was turned into an angel. It's kind of mentioned that he's the second person to have done this, because like it mentions Enoch, so like there's at least a little bit of research there. I'm kind of enjoying where it's heading, but I'm expecting it to stop heading where I'm expecting it to. Or well, I expect this to not be horror at some point, because here's the thing, I'm very immune to horror, and I think the Children's Hospital is supposed to be horror, but right now it's just giving me horror adjacent vibes. And like, yeah, the Children's Hospital by Chris. Damn it, Google, I am not a robot. I am very Marina and the Diamonds. I'm not a robot. I am not a robot. Come on. I hate that they use these fucking analog horror-esque fucking things. Makes me feel like I should be on the lookout for something. But yeah, the book is by Chris Adrian. It definitely gives me like, oh, he was definitely inspired by Stephen King, and you can definitely tell it. when someone is writing and they have obvious author influences sometimes, like if you read Stephen King and then read the beginning of this book, you'd be like, oh yeah, they're a Stephen King fan. I can also say the same thing about The Devil's Creek. That's also, I didn't finish it. I kind of enjoyed it. I was enjoying it, but for some reason I just didn't want to pick it up again. It wasn't like a purposeful do not finish. It was more of a, I'm just not into it. It's not being the thing right now. Let's see here. Is this horror? What the fuck is this? I think it's considered horror. Let's go to Goodreads. Let's see what Goodreads has to say. We can trust Goodreads. Link. Let's see here. Oh. It says it's not that, but oh well. I don't even remember how I heard of this, to be real, though. I don't remember how real it was. How I heard of that before. I think it just popped into my feed somehow. But I'm enjoying it, though I wish they would up. Because it's about a Christian apocalypse. This is a second flood. Like we're in a children's hospital turned into an ark for the flood. Oh, and may I inform you, this ark was built by a man and a sex-crazed angel. Yep. Yeah, that's the real Stephen King bit, is the sex-crazed angel. And she wasn't even having sex in a human form, it was more of the sex in a mystical, dark fog form, I think. I don't think she ever had sex. She had sex with this architect in a humanoid form. Not to mention the architect is like supposed to be like asexual, but then this angel came along and it's like, oh, oh, he's a monster fucker, that's what he is. He just didn't like humans. He didn't like human females. But the angel in the fog, no, that's different. The angel in the fog has come for your D. She wants you to build a children's hospital and turn it into a religious ark, but first she wants the D. She had priorities. My girl had priorities. But like, yeah, that definitely feels like the Stephen King thing. It's like, oh, angel sex, yep. Not to mention there was regular sex before this. Not saying that Stephen King enjoys talking about sex, but he likes making a plot point out of it. Or what he thinks is a necessary plot point. I don't know about you, but I could have went without the... Well, no, the angel sex was kind of good. I could have went without the human sex. But oh my god, that's what I'm currently reading. I have more reads. I always have more things to read. My TBR is just a giant library waiting to eat me at any time. This is not including my manga and stuff. I'm currently reading, well, I'm not currently reading much manga. Like, I have a lot of manga on pause. That's what's happening. I really need to go check up on my updates on Shadow's house. And it's been a while since I checked in on Black Butler. It's been a while since I read some Black Butler. That I don't care what anyone says. I love my Black Butler. I like where it's heading. People can hate on me all they want. I love my characters. I love my little gardener. He'd be my favorite. I also enjoy the writing of Black Butler. How everyone is more than what they seem. I love how everyone is more than what they seem. I mean, within the series itself, it's an overplayed trope. Within the manga itself, it's very overplayed, and you're just like, alright, what's this one's secret ability? What's this one's secret ability? But, like, it's fine. It's fine, because, like, it's very delicious. I'm not sure what Black Butler classifies as. I think at the start of it, Black Butler was originally supposed to be I think it was supposed to be a mixture of shonen satire and kind of an approach to the toxic yaoi relationship, but without the yaoi bit. But it's so evolved into its own thing. Because, like, I think the creator was like, you know, I need to do this. I kind of like where this relationship is heading and what's happening, and I just love the evolution of the characters in Black Butler. Even if it overplays its own tropes, I do like where it has gone. And I'm going to be very interested to pick up where I left off, because I was somewhere... I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I was somewhere after the big event. Like, if you're mostly up to date, you know what the big event was. It's the toxic seal event. That's what I'll say. That's enough. That's enough. Even though Seal is toxic all the time. Seal is toxic all the time. I think everyone will know what I mean by that, since I'm signifying a specific moment. The toxic Seal event. The canon event. The canon event for the later half of the series. Because I think the mangaka is looking to finish the series soon. I'm pretty sure the mangaka is looking to finish soonish. So, yeah. That's what I'm reading. I've also come across why I don't think, like, I'm listening to the, oh my god. My brain farted. Dream Boy podcast. I'm listening to the Dream Boy podcast. And I think I discovered why it never really got as popular as Night Vale. Like, I'm 100% certain. Like, it's trying to marry all these separate elements, like the story with the music, with the characters, and with the humor. But none of it quite lands. They're all good parts as separates. They're all good separate parts. But they're not necessarily working as a whole. And I think that's why. I think that's why Dream Boy never really took off, besides, you know, some of the more blatant pieces within it, because Dream Boy focuses a lot on the two main characters and their sexual intercourse, and they're both men, so that's probably why. Like, there's a lot of sex. There's a lot of sex in Dream Boy. And I'll say, even as a gay man, it's very uncomfortable, especially since some of the sexual situations are interrupted by a child, and that consistently happens. It's like there's a lot of humor about children being in places where they shouldn't, and that's kind of, I think for a lot of people that kind of stops being funny when it's in more perilous situations, because there's an entire thing where a kid takes acid. Well, not acid, no, I think it's acid. It might be acid. Where a child takes acid, and it's like, it's meant to be funny, but it's working off this stereotype that a lot of gay men are into drug culture. And I'm not putting it down because the main character that they wrote out who had the acid and how it got into like the kid, he is definitely the type who would have acid. I think that's another thing, is that they wrote a very, I'm not saying that there aren't people who do that stuff who are like who are stereotypical. There are people who do fit a lot of those types of stereotypes who do fit molds. I'll say that. And they just happen to like, and they wrote a person like that. I think that's another reason why Dream Boy never really popped off. Even though it's good, the writing of Dream Boy is amazing. It's very fourth wall. It's very on the nose. It very much knows that what it's doing. I think like because of the, oh my god, you think I know how to speak, but I'm trying to be very off the cuff. Because of not only the humor, but also the fact that it had a very stereotypical gay man who did drugs and who was into a lot of stuff. I mean, to be fair, the other main protagonist who was gay was very boring. A very boring gay. A very boring disaster gay, I might add. They were supposed to play off each other, but I feel like a lot of people just didn't like the idea of being represented by the druggy, sex everywhere type of gay with the weird kinks and stuff. Yeah, I think that's why Dream Boy never really popped off. Like, there's multiple reasons why, but I just wanted to nail down those. And like, yeah, I just feel like it had a lot of good separate parts, but as a whole, it just didn't blend well. And that's why Dream Boy never really popped off. Okay, I think I've given enough time for everyone to come in. I've given enough time to everyone to come in, so let's switch around. Let's switcheroo. Okay, hold up. Window capture. Okay. I don't want that. I don't like that. Please don't do that. Okay, I thought you were on the fucking, damn it. I thought you were on the, oh, presenting. There we go. Okay. Okay, hold up. Did I? No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just going to delete my Reddit later. It's fine, I'll delete my Reddit later. I've been meaning to, it's just horrible. Oh, why am I not? Why am I? Oh, hold up. Oh, there we go. I'll delete my Reddit later because it's just toxic. I'm there for toxic reasons. It doesn't matter. Let me get some music going, actually. I'm just on Reddit for toxic reasons. Okay, first off, I didn't think it'd show. What really needs to happen is that, OBS really needs to only show a window when you have actually finished putting in your fucking bullshit. I don't think it's a good idea if for it to be doing that when it shouldn't be doing that. Just shouldn't show what's happening. Like, you might not be prepared. Like, you should always be prepared, but like, I just, not to mention, it shouldn't like default on something because it defaulted to my opera and I didn't want it to do that. Okay, let's go with the video game music lounge because it was nice. Okay, okay. What am I looking for here? Okay, yeah. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. Now we got some good music. Damn it, why is it always music I know that gives me sage? Wait, where is it? Oh god, oh no. Okay, where is it? Oh, there. I hate how it just, I kind of wish it just say the thing as a separate slideshow. But welcome to my writing advice, everyone. Welcome to writing advice with Best for Fortune. Okay, on to the next slide. This is more of a crash course. The advice will build off each other though. Writing, I've never heard of it. Welcome in, whatever. Yes. Writing, what's that? What is this magical thing you call writing? A lot of the advice will build off each other. It will build off each other. And I am not a professional, but I have been writing for 29 years. Well, not 29 years. That'd be my whole life. More than 24 years. I'll put it like that. I'm only 29, as far as anyone knows. But I am not a professional. I mean, I might be considered professional in some spaces. I have written like well over 500 poems, technically. They were just in very lyrical formats. But I think most of what I know comes from the past few years. and me just going back to my youth and being like, huh, huh, huh. So, because I'm not a professional, please take everything with just a little salt. Just a little salt. Like, not too much salt, because I would like to think I know what I'm doing. I like to think I know what I'm doing. But, let's go, everyone! Well, welcome in, whatever. I'm glad you're here. You can, back me up. First piece of advice. Know your writing style. This is the most important piece of advice, which is why it's first. This is why it's first. This advice will determine all future advice you take. Even some of the stuff in here. Your style is more important than other people's opinions, because here's the thing. All advice is usually opinions. You love the background? Yes, it's from Okumono. I realize every time I do slideshow now, I'm probably going to go over to Okumono and grab their stuff. But I'm saying style is the most important. Like how you write, in what way you write, and just like your general approach to writing is far more important than anything anyone else has to say upon writing. Cause like a lot of people, a lot of advice is determined by your approach to writing, your style. Like people are like, oh, you should write short, choppy action. Like action needs to be short, it needs to be snappy. Meanwhile, I have a flowery fairy tale writing style. Most of the time. In depending on what I'm writing, if I'm leaning towards a more gothic setting, or if I'm in a more fairy tale poetic setting, I'm very flowery, I'm very purple. Oh man, this is a good jam. I'm very purpley, and I've learned to accept that about myself. Like a lot of people are like, you need to adjust your style. I have no idea what my writing style is. Melodramatic. I get a very, for those of you who don't know, I know whatever, I've known him for a bit. Like being, you like little elements of absurdism. You're very whimsical, but not in a fairy tale like manner. You're very, you're sort of like sitcom-y. You're sort of like sitcom-y, but like a good sitcom. Hi world, goodbye world. I banish you to the Shadow Realm for trying to take away my my stage. I give you one shout out and you act like this. Sash. I'm joking. Absurdism, that's word. Yeah, but like, I think you should always look at your style first before anything, or the style you're writing the book in, because many of us have multiple styles, just like many artists have multiple art styles. So a lot of people do have multiple styles, and like they can maybe take advice for one style but not the other. Like I said, I have a very flowery writing style some of the time, and then other times I do write in a very store-bought YA sort of way. I I feel like I write a little like Rick Riordan back in the day. Like Rick Riordan meets Stephen King a little. Like whenever I write more in non-fantasy, I tend to lean into very YA dialogue and YA sort of tropes. And I also like very like, I don't want to say anime, but I do take like cues in terms of setting for anime and manga. So like what I can apply to one of my styles, like my more YA style, my more YA general populace friendly style, I can't apply that to my flowery style. I can't apply that to all of them petals. If you're writing flowery, you're going to describe the flowers, you're going to describe the scents, you're going to describe the moss devouring the cubby holes and the moss dripping down like a waterfall, just like a slow waterfall over time the moss has become. Like, you're not going to, like, you should always consider yourself before the advice. You should consider your style first before anything. And that leads me to my second point. Don't take advice. I said this would build upon itself. It's kind of bad because this entire thing is about taking advice. But the second panel is immediately, don't take advice. Like I said, this is an elaboration on the first panel, on our previous advice, because not all advice fits you. You should always look at your style and improve that and take advice for that. You should read people who work with a similar style to yours. It doesn't matter the genre, because other people's styles, it's more important that they have a similar style to yours than genre, because I feel like genre is more for the reader than for the writer. That's a little piece of side advice I will say. Genre is not for you. It's more for the marketplace, the reader. What you should be observing when reading other people is their style and what they do. See, I'm already giving advice outside the panels. But like I said, this is an elaboration on the previous piece of advice. Like a lot of people will say, show, don't tell. But have you read Neil Gaiman? The man who currently has, like, multiple shows on television? The man who has multiple movie adaptations? The man who has, the man who worked on the script for Princess Mononoke? The English script? The English translation? Have you seen his books? He does a lot of telling. He does a lot of telling. But like, yeah. And like, some people say don't use adverbs. Well, screw those people. There's a lot of people in the current publishing industry who use a lot of adverbs. So fuck you. Like I said, not all advice is one size fits all, though people will purport their advice to be one size fits all. People will purport their advice to be like very it works for me, it'll work for you too. All advice in writing is snake oil unless it's your style, then it's the miracle cure. All writing advice is snake oil. Even mine. But no, seriously, don't just take advice. Don't just take advice. It's wrong. Especially if you get it from Reddit. Especially if you get it from Reddit. Like, Reddit is where I really notice this. I know, I shouldn't be on Reddit. But you'll probably find this on Tumblr and Twitter too. People giving one size fits all advice. Meanwhile, honey, that you shouldn't be wearing that one size fits all latex suit. You shouldn't. You're not serving it, honey. Oh, Laura has some advice. Yeah, don't go to Reddit for a ride. Stay away from the Reddit writing if you can. Just don't go to Reddit. Don't be like me. I'm mostly on Reddit for the Final Fantasy XIV forums. That's what I'm mostly on Reddit for. Like, because mostly that's like the center of news. It's why I can't give up another toxic site that I used to have an account on. Because it was the center of all Gaga news. Like, I don't have an account there, but I still visit it. But like, yeah, don't just take advice. Look at your style, evaluate it. Maybe give it a shot, but if it doesn't look like it's working, or if like the people who read your work are like, nah man, this ain't good for you. Don't infect your good dish with soapy cilantro. Don't do it. Don't infect whatever you're cooking with a bad ingredient. But yeah, your main job as a writer, if you're like looking to improve, is to only take advice that fits. Only to like find things that work for you. Don't take what people say works for everyone, because here's the thing, it don't. That's why I kind of shit on anyone who says don't open with a dream sequence, don't open with dialogue, don't do this, don't do that. Let me tell you, all those things have been done. They've been done well, and they've been done horribly. Don't stop yourself from doing what you want to do, what fits the book. Okay, third piece of advice. Write for yourself. This is like the only one that's not capitalized, because I want it to be nice. But yeah, write for yourself. Writing should be allowed to be selfish and self-indulgent. Like, you're writing to get out a story in your head. You never had to start writing. You just wanted to get it out of your head. And now it's on paper. I mean, to be fair, a lot of writing is to become published and to see if you can love something you do and love. But, oh, that's not, I didn't mean to do that. Hold up. But, I think a lot of people lose themselves in that and think they have to write for readers. No. No. No, you don't have to write for readers. If you're a good enough writer, people will just read you anyway. People just read you anyway. Like here's the thing, you're not going to make everyone happy, so why shouldn't you at least be happy? But here's the thing, if you're doing traditional publishing, it's not your job to decide what's palatable for readers. That's your editor's job. That's your book company's job. That's your publishing company's job. That ain't your job. Your job is to argue with your editor and be like, well, if we're removing this, I'm just going to add it in later. That's your job.
Your job as a writer is to just write and do what you want. Because, like, here's the thing. A lot of people are like, well, if you're doing traditional publishing, you have to write a certain way, right? Go look at every single book that has been traditionally published. You will find everything. You will find everything. This is not even including the crazy stuff that went on in the 80s. Like, are we even going to talk about it? You know, like Stephen King? Everyone has a problem with it, and I'm not, and if, if you want me to mention the problem, I'll say it. I'm never going to get monetized on YouTube because of it. And Twitch will be like, oh, he said a thing. But I'll say it. Good tea. I don't know how it got fucking published other than it was Stephen King. But, like, your editors, they're going to be the ones to tell you, hey, you can't do that. And you can be like, sure. Or you can fight it and be like, no, that's too important. That's staying. But considering how many sex scenes I've read in books that were not necessary and other similar things, your editors don't really care. From what I've noticed. Editors have a certain point where it's like, yeah, it's good. It's good. I don't like my job. Editors must go through some shit if they just let some sex scenes pass. Like, yeah, sure, this is necessary. This is good. But you can, like, I mostly always suggest writing for yourself, and if there's anyone else you should write for, it is your readers, or your friends or family, who read your book, or your fandom, if you have if you build a fan base around your stuff, which is always good. But, and this is like the thing you need to take away. If you're not taking away anything else from this fucking slideshow, listen to me. This is the most important part. I want you to, hold up. I want you to listen to me. I want you to listen. You see this point down here, this last one. This last one right here. This one I'm circling around like I'm thirsty for blood. Never write for writers. Never write for writers. Don't do it. It's not smart. It might get you critical acclaim from the writing community, but who gives a shit? It's like, there are less writers in the world than there are readers. There are less writers in the world than there are readers. And like, writing for other writers is going to be boring. I'm going to say that. I think this is why most writing advice sucks nowadays. This is why all writing advice is the same. This is why writing advice is just awful. It's a bunch of writers writing for writers. That's where we have failed, I think. There's a lot of people who are writing not for themselves, not for readers, not for their fan base, not for the fandom that they're writing fan fiction for. They're writing it for writers. And that's wrong. I will not be taking any commentary on my hot take. Because I don't want to be like, oh, it's true. I don't want to say that, because this is an opinion. All advice is opinions. It's all opinions until it helps you. But then it's only a fact for you. And the world doesn't revolve around you. But, oh hell, are they playing Persona music? Ooh. But like yeah, writing for writers is going to be the most boring thing you can do. And like yeah, this is why I believe most writing advice has gone to hell in a handbasket. Why it's gone to the dogs and not even the good dogs. This has gone to the bad dogs. You know, the rare bad boy? The not good boy? The rare not good boy? He's getting this. This is where this is the gift for the not good boy. The writing advice for writers. Writers writing for writers. That's what the not good boy's getting. But like yeah, don't write for writers. Like it might get you like critical acclaim, but it's not really worth it. Like always write for yourself, write for readers if you want. Don't write for writers. Don't write for writers. Unless you're writing a book to help writers. But don't write for writers. Like that's just not cool, man. Oh, hold up. I just wanted to move this over. I had this perfectly centered. Okay, there we go. Yeah, King wrote a writing self-help book. Yeah, that's the only time I suggest writing for writers. Is if you're writing a writing help book, which is kind of what I'm doing. And I'm hoping to do more writing workshops. I want to do more writing streams to help people. So I'm hoping to like further on that. And technically some of them will technically be English classes since a lot of writing is going into just how the English language is shaped. And I will be talking about that in another writing workshop in a month. Or whenever. Whenever I want to do another one of these. But yeah, only write for writers if you're doing writing advice. And like I said, all advice is wrong. Unless it's for you. Then it's right. But just for you. That's... Oh. I'm changing the name of my title. Hold up. All writing advice is wrong. My go live notification. Get in here for some advice. My title, all writing advice is wrong. Okay, on to the next slide. Fourth piece of advice. Inhale media. Well, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it out of the way. Everyone says to read, but I should be hitting ads soon. Well, everyone says to read. Writing is basically the start of all storytelling. You have to write scripts. You have to write storyboards. You have to write visual novels. You have to write video games. You have to write everything. And we have ads. So everyone, I'm going to take a small break. I'm not going to go through talking while we're in the middle of ad break. So we're just going to chill with the music. I'm going to take a sippy. That is good tea. That is good ass tea. It's a green tea, for anyone wondering tonight. I'm too poor to afford anything else. Please go to my thorn and buy me tea. Please go to my throat and buy me some nice tea. Okay, ad break though. I'm going to have to. I'm very tempted to remove ads. Quite honestly, if I can do that. I'm going to probably see if I can do that between today and tomorrow. Because I feel like ads are getting more in the way. But it's either I do ads or I don't have a channel, I think. Because Twitch is mean. Twitch is a mean little baby. Just like every single other website anymore. Every single website being little bitch babies. I would leave Twitch. Ow. I just bit my tongue. I would leave Twitch if I could. But there's not really good alternatives out there. There's not really any good alternatives. Like, Kick. Kick is awful. And I want to go on VStream, but you're not going to get an audience there. Like, your audience is going to be other VTubers. Like, you're going to have to bring in people from Twitch somehow. And that's the main problem with VStream. YouTube is fine, I think. If there's any place I go, it would be YouTube. But, yeah. I need a new live streaming website to exist. Cause yeah, Twitch is being a whole issue and a half. But okay, ad break ends in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Oh wow, the music kicked in on on the end of that ad break. So nice. But as I was saying before we had the ad, before we had that horrible existence, storytelling, writing is the basic form of storytelling. So writing is a blueprint for everything. So manga, you need writing. Visual novel, writing. Video games, writing. Unless you have, like, mostly a rhythm game, then you don't really need writing. Like, if you don't have, like, an actual story... If you don't have an actual story, and there's a lot of games that don't have actual storylines, then you don't need writing. But... Are they playing Thriller mashed up with something? Ah, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm 100% sure this is... Twitch is going to have issues with me. And YouTube might as well. But, as I was saying, so you can learn storytelling from any piece of media. And not to mention, it is very interesting to see how to put regular tropes, like tropes from more visual media into a written form. And I'm sorry, this music is distracting. I just want to go Thriller, na 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 na. But because writing is kind of like drawing. Writing is like drawing in that in order to do most, if any, art, you need to know how to draw, or at least sketch. Writing is kind of like sketching. Writing is like drawing in that manner, is that it is the most basic form of storytelling. And the most, like, simple form of storytelling, though it takes a lot to master. Like, writing is low skill floor, high skill ceiling. I think that's how it goes, right? Low skill floor, high skill ceiling. And, so basically, you don't need to just read in order to write, I believe. You can learn how to write from watching things, from reading non-text. Easy to learn, hard to master, yeah. But you should still read, because that's how you're going to discover your style. That's how you're going to discover who you want to write like, how you want to write, what you want to write. Because you can't just be like, oh, I want to write manga. Yeah, and it's hard to break through because of the easy point of entry. Exactly. There's a lot of people who can write and who are writing. And there's a lot of people who should not be writing who are writing. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this, and I think it's the next slide. But you should still read. But I am saying that you don't need to only read, and I think just reading will actually set you back more than a mixture of media would. I believe both watching stuff and then taking non-reading storytelling, non-literary storytelling. Yeah, music. Though I think being inspired is a little bit different. Being inspired is like a totally different thing that I did not write about in this slideshow. Because inspiration is a whole different thing. Inspiration is one of those things where it's like, it can happen anywhere at any time. And like, but yeah, I also do suggest in taking non-literary media just for inspiration. Because if no one can tell, I'm like pretty sure I wrote a lot of Birth of the Angels after watching Neon Genesis Evangelion. And because I just enjoyed Kaoru and Shinji's non-relationship. Like, honestly, that was probably, it started out as a Neon Genesis Evangelion. Oh no, it started out as original fiction, but it is basically fan fiction for those two. But like, it is very different because of how I portray Joshua in comparison to Kawaru. Because Kawaru has a definite character. Kawaru has a definite character. I leave enough suffocation room, I'll call it. No, breathing room. I leave enough breathing room around the interpretation of Joshua for him to be a bad guy. I leave enough breathing room around Joshua for him to be interpreted as a bad guy. Kawaru has the best outlook for Shinji. It's just that he's a villain. Kawaru loved Shinji. And this is spoilers, but Kawaru is one of those things where you know he's dead, you know he's gonna die. He only has one episode, but he left such a lasting impact on the fandom that that's kind of like the Aerith situation, how everyone knows Aerith dies in Final Fantasy VII. I think everyone knows Kawaru is only around for one episode in Neon Genesis Evangelion. But it's kind of like Aerith and Kawaru both have a lot of similarities in that they just leave a lot in their very short time. Though, to be fair, Aerith and Kawaru both have had interpretations after the main parts of the media. And not to mention, Kawaru gets further further interpretation in the last like episode. But like, yeah. Okay, on to the next slide because I totally forgot what we were talking about. Oh no, that's not what I want. Fifth piece of advice. I think everyone should have a commonplace book. Now, for those of you not in the know, it's just a place where you can keep tidbits of information. If you like keeping all of your, everything you want, like, like, words you like, words you just found, um, little pieces of information, like let's say you have a digital book, like you just have like a little folder full of stuff. That could be your commonplace book. Like just stuff you want to use in writing, or like scenes you have in your head, or phrases, or like entire paragraphs you just want to put down but you don't have a place for them. Yeah, I just suggest keeping a commonplace book so you have a place for all of that, and so it doesn't get lost. I have a lot of my writings down, and I usually, because I'm more of a pantser than a plotter, I like writing down a lot as I write. I like putting down a lot of detail already, because that's just how I feel comfortable. A lot of people would call that editing as you go. I call it leave me the fuck alone, because it's how I like to write. That don't be afraid to be mean if you're defending your own writing style and what makes you comfy. But I just have a lot of places for my stuff to go because I'm usually coming up with it. But I do have a lot of separate phrases and ideas that I need to put down because otherwise I forget them. And like, oh, that just reminds me, I have a phrase I need to put down. Hold up. Hold up. I have a phrase I need to put down. There we go. But yeah, I just suggest keeping a commonplace book, or just a place where you put down a bunch of random shit if you're writing, or maybe not even, or for like some form of writing. Like I know a lot of world builders, I know a lot of D&D people, so like so a commonplace book would really help them. And so like I'm taking this down because I feel like it's too much. I want it to be heard, but I don't want it to be too much. But oh right, that might just, okay. But like yeah, I just mostly suggest keeping a commonplace book, or just keeping around the random tidbits in your mind so you don't have to keep them inside you. Keep a book so you don't have to keep stuff inside you. But yeah, it's just for a place for all those random threads inside your head. The random threads in your, around you, just like what you want to do. Like you can keep it for writing ideas, you can keep it for words and their definitions. It's for everything basically. And I highly suggest every writer just has like those few documents where you place all the stuff that you want, and just have something you can go back to. Okay, 6th piece of advice that's kind of built on top of that. It's to research. A lot of people say write what you know, which means write from experience, I believe. But I say know what you write, because you can't be experienced in everything. But here's the thing, other people have experience in what you probably are looking for. And so, like, you can always be fake experience. Like, research your settings, research the time period, what is popular during that time period, the culture of the place, Like, are you even writing about the Victorian? Are you even writing in the Victorian era if you don't know which shade of pink is popular in the year that you're writing in? Come on. Choose to serve with your writing. To don't choose to not serve. Don't choose to not serve. You have to serve, you have to slay, you have to eat. You have to do all those things with your book. Especially for yourself. If you won't serve for your readers, at least serve for yourself. But like, not to mention, people will notice and enjoy the little things, even if it's not like everyone. But just like the little things, people will notice, people will enjoy them. And people will like those things, and people will take note of you for the small things. Like, this is more if you are writing for... If you know it'll be seen by outside hands, outside eyes. If you're writing for yourself and you literally do not give a shit, this will never be seen by people. You don't have to worry about this slide. This advice is wrong. My advice is wrong. If nobody's seeing this, do you really have to give a shit? I mean, unless you're in a situation where your stuff might get leaked. But then I suggest stop being a horrible person to the point where people might want to leak your private writing. Just my personal opinion. Don't be a horrible person where someone might want to leak your writing. Do not put yourself into a place where people will dox you and leak your writing for their own purposes. If you're in a place where you are being cancelled to the point where people leak your private writing, you should maybe look at your life. Okay, 7th piece of advice. You are better than you think you are. So, this is more to say that we are our harshest critics. But also, I'm going to talk about this because it's actually very happening in the industry. Like, this is happening in traditional publishing. Oh, I have to smollen myself. I have to minimize. I have to minimize. I have to smollen. Oh, wait, is this what I think it is? Ooh. I think this is a remix from Final Fantasy X. Oh no, this is from, no, it doesn't say. It sounds like a Final Fantasy X remix. But, besides us being our own worst critics, this is kind of feeding into the style thing I was talking about earlier. The stronger parts of your writing are going to, in video game terms, carry your weaker parts. The stronger parts of your writing are going to lift up your weak parts and carry them. Like, I'm horrible with straight up architecture descriptions. I hate describing architecture with my entire soul. So I will just leave things very purposely vague. Just because architecture is not my thing. I think that helps me in some point because my descriptions are just so flowery. It just kind of helps people shape the architecture in their minds, the settings in their minds. But architecture is just one of my weak points as a writer. But I know how to write around it. But like, the stronger parts of your writing will carry your weaker parts. And like and let's I can't ever get my people to leave rooms. They'll just stand there. But they're lovely rooms. Look at all these rooms. But I get that. But you have good dialogue. Your absurdism, your like whimsy is very good and really helps your story a lot. But like let's bring in more video game metaphors. Like, since we're talking about video games, I'm a Twitch streamer, I'm a VTuber. Their video games are the bread and butter. But let's bring in video games again. Video games are... Why is OBS acting like this? Anyway. Video games are made up of so many different parts. I think I have to close some of my emotional support tabs. Excuse me. Oh wait, I know what song. Hold up. I know what song. My computer is about as hot as, you know, the planet with all this global warming. This global climate change. That's the problem. That's probably the problem. So I'm going to plug... I wish I was plugged. My computer is hot, as am I. Yes, my computer does have does kind of the Bayonetta coloration coloration. Bayonetta 1, not Bayonetta 2 or 3 though. Where is my thing? Ah, there it is. There we go, it's on max. Okay, let me have a drink. But in terms of video games, let's like look at video games like as a whole. Like, they're made out of a lot of separate parts. And so like, certain video games, they're allowed to have weaker parts as long as the parts that matter, the strong parts, are, you know, strong enough. Like, you can have an RPG with only decent battle and decent music, and like some parts of it could be bad, like the UI or something. But if an RPG has good characters and a good story, that can carry all the bad parts. And so let's talk about like a racing game. For a racing game, you would need, well, good cars, good vehicles. They need to be good to look at. And you need fun racing mechanics. You probably need shortcuts. You need good settings. Depending on depending on the sort of racing game you're playing, but let's presume you're playing something boring and not Mario Kart. No, it still applies to Mario Kart. The car design, the settings are going to carry the rest of the game if it's horrible. Like the racing, like the main aspects have to carry the horrible aspects. Like, are you going to play a rhythm game that has horrible music? Are you going to play a rhythm game that has horrible music? No, you're probably not. Like, like, it's going to depend on what genre you're writing in and what your style is. But your stronger parts are going to carry your weaker parts, cause not to bring in the Queen of Mean herself, not to bring in Turf Queen, but as it's come up in recent years, J.K. Rowling, the bitch herself, I am not using that in an endearing manner, she's a cunt, in terms of technical writing, everyone says she has horrid, horrid technical writing skills. Like, it's been a while since I read any of the Harry Potter series, so I can't really remark on that, and I haven't read any of her super turfy detective series. But everyone agrees Harry Potter, like the series, is hard carried by her world building. Like, that's where she shined. And I think a lot of people are saying that about Lovecraft as well. That his, like, I haven't watched anything. I just seen like a few Twitter comments by seeing like YouTube videos that were like, was Lovecraft a horrible writer? Yes or no? But I'd probably say the same thing about Lovecraft, is that he is very good at world building. Like, we took his world. We didn't take all of his characters. We took his world, his spells, his gods. But a lot of people are saying the same thing about him. And people will say Stephen King is horrible at endings. Well, that's more of an opinion. I still like Stephen King stuff. I can see where people are coming from. I'm sane. But I think because he writes horror, most of his stuff is horror. His endings aren't that bad, and I think him and Junji Ito both are of the same mind that horror does not need to have a happy ending. Like, if you read Junji Ito's works, if you're a Junji Ito protagonist, you're just dead. You're dead or doomed to a fate worse than death. I think people have issues with that. They want happy ending horror, which, why are you watching horror if you want a happy ending? Why are you watching horror if you want a happy ending? Why are you watching horror if you don't want to confront all the darkness? Why are you watching horror if you do not want escapism by, like, horrible endings? Like, a lot of people will complain about stuff, and it's like, yeah. But, like I'm saying, your strong points are going... your strengths will carry your weaknesses. And you should realize that you are better at writing for those strengths. Because a lot of people will see their own writing style and be like, this kind of sucks. No, your writing style is good. You just need to realize it's yours. But that is to say, you shouldn't allow your weaknesses to, like, stay weaknesses. Like, you should always be looking to improve what you can improve upon. Like, let's say you are like me and you're very flowery and very fairy tale-ish, which means you're going to have trouble writing action sequences. Well, you should seek out how to write action sequences in a flowy language, and not do what I did and try to do the choppy action sequences, because I feel like that has ruined my style. But it's gotta become a part of it, so now I'm just, ew. But, always look to shore up your own weaknesses. Like, strengthen your weaknesses. Because you don't want your stronger parts to carry everything for the rest of the time. I mean, people will always look for that in your writing. Like, in whatever genre your style is in that particular time. Because like I said, we can have multiple styles and multiple ways of writing. So we will have personal tics in each genre or style. So what we are weak in one style, we may not be weak in another, and we should seek to change that. And like, maybe you sometimes even need to confront yourself and be like, why am I good at writing this in this style and not in this style? But like I'm saying, just look to fix your weaknesses if you can. If you can't, learn to write around them. And you're probably wondering, what do you mean by writing around? I'm just saying, like, maybe sometimes you don't need to write what you're weak with, or you can like I said, your strengths will carry your weaknesses, and you can probably use your strengths to work around your weaknesses. Like, I'm good at dialogue, I'm good at character creation, so like I can use those to my own advantage and avoid doing things like architecture. But like, one thing is, and this is just another piece of advice, you don't want to lean on your strengths too much, because then people start to notice, and then your strengths might actually become your weaknesses. Like, you want to highlight your strengths, but you don't want to like be like, this is the only thing I'm good at, you know? Because then that becomes an issue itself. Okay. We have, derp, the next slide. Come on, next slide. 8th piece of advice. Readers are smarter than you think. This is kind of like feeding into write for readers or write for yourself. And like I said, and with what we just talked about with the weaknesses and strengths, readers do not need their hands to be held. They can learn through context clues and passive world building and foreshadowing. You don't... Here's the thing, if a person who is not getting your stuff is reading your stuff and they don't get it, that's not on you. That's not on you. The reader's interpretation, what they gather, it's not always on you. Sometimes it's on them. Because there's multiple ways to read a thing, there's multiple ways to interpret a thing, and there's just multiple ways for people to gather information. And sometimes people aren't taught in a way to gather context, and sometimes they just don't want to do it. But like, readers, a lot of people, and this is again talking about previous writers' advice, writing for writers. A lot of writers want to treat their readers like they're dumb. Please don't do that. Your readers aren't dumb. They're people like you, they just don't write. But like, people who are reading are actively reading. They're reading other books, they're reading other stuff. They're intaking other media. Your readers, unless you're like writing for a 5-year-old, you don't have to treat your readers like they're dumbasses. like maybe, like if you're writing children's books, maybe middle grade, maybe you can baby your readers a bit. But your readers are unlikely to have the need to be babied. Like, even if you like want to write something that's beginner friendly for a genre, and some people do set out for that, they want to introduce other people to their genre, which is good, that's fine. If people want to introduce people to their favorite genre, that's okay. But you have to realize, a lot of people, even if you're like introducing them to a new genre, they still they've intaken other media. And so like, there'll be things that are played out to them already, just because they've seen it somewhere else. You don't need to hold anyone's hand. The readers aren't dumb. The readers know they can infer for themselves. Sometimes the blue curtain is not a blue curtain, but sometimes the blue curtain is a blue curtain. And there's some things writers do. There's some things that writers do perform subconsciously, but they don't know that they do it. And there's some things that people pick up on that the writers never meant for people to pick up on. Because I know I wrote Birth of the Angels, and I watched my friend read through it, Luminous P. Go check her out. Shout out. I might actually have to go look her up. Hold up. Like, Lumi mentioned stuff about Birth of the Angels that I did not purposely intend, but I'm like, oh, that's smart. That's smart. I didn't mean that, but I like that. That's kind of true now. Okay, yeah. Luminous Peak. But yeah, Lumi said that. I'm like, oh. I was like, oh, that's pretty intelligent. I didn't mean that, but okay. But yeah, go follow Lumi if you already haven't. Hold up, I just gotta fix this. But like, treating your readers like they're dumb, that's not okay. And like I said, if you're writing for yourself, this don't matter. This advice is wrong. Because it doesn't even matter. This advice doesn't matter. But yeah, don't handhold your readers unless it's absolutely necessary. If you're like doing world building and you're like doing a sorta, you're like if you're like world building and you're like kind of just doing exposition, that's fine. Like if you need exposition for some reason, that's not really handholding. And like there's even some genres where you just can't handhold, like mysteries. Like handholding would just kill it. Horror can't have handholding because that would just kill it. Like there are just genres where you can't handhold because that then ruins the experience. But like if you're explaining how the world works and like you can't explain it passively, I understand that. But your readers are smarter than what you give them credit for. While a lot of writers give their readers credit for. Now, a lot of writers do not credit their readers. Not like, yeah. Okay, I think this is the last slide. Yeah, that's the last slide. Here's the thing, I was making this, and I was trying to remember everything I wanted to put on the slide, but I couldn't remember everything. So we're 30 minutes in. I feel like that's like a good slideshow. Though like technically it's only been an hour. Anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions? I have no idea what I'm doing after this for the next hour and 30 minutes. Let me take a sip. I'm waiting with bated breath. I'm out of tea. I'm waiting with... How do you... Well, it's very simple. I summon Satan. I get him to do it for me. You think? You think I name people myself? No, no, no. Usually, uh, I will, if I am doing like a draft, I'll give them like a random name. I usually default to names within the L through M range for some reason. I like names that begin with M for some odd reason. But after the first draft is usually when I stick to a singular name. And like the only reason I would change is if I don't really like it or if something has come up. It's currently in a novel project which in Swan God, because I mentioned Swan God in my debut. In Swan God, I had a character whose name was Corona. Mind you, I started Swangard before the incident. I started Swangard before the plague. Like way before the plague. I think I had like the first draft in probably around 2019. Like before like 2018, 2019, like ancient times now. Like before, like we've entered a new time, new measurement of time. We're 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 DC during Corona. But I decided because of the event, the tragedy, the chlorination syndrome, that I could not have the character named Corona anymore. And I named him Corona because I wanted to name him after I decided to name him after like a light themed thing. Cause he was theme named. I sometimes I do theme names, sometimes I just grab a name. It depends on how I feel for the project. But I named him Corona because of light. I also think I wanted him to have like an eye theme. An eye theme. But I changed his name to Luciel. I think I named him Luciel. He might be Lucifer. He might be Lucifer. But I'm pretty sure his name is Luciel. I changed his name to Luciel just to have more of a just to keep with the light theme. And also for other themes within the book. And also to be like a little bit of a red herring. But names are usually something where I need to vibe with it. If I'm vibing with it and it vibes with the character, because sometimes the name does not vibe with the character and the character's like, I need a different name, then I'll change it. Because sometimes the characters are like, that's not my name. They go all Rihanna on me. What's my name? What's my name? Does this work? Does this work? What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? And sometimes you just have to go through a bunch of names until something actually sticks. For Isaac and Joshua, it was very simple. They started out as... I'm going to give a little bit of backstory to Birth of the Angels, so y'all get a little bonus content for Birth of the Angels if you're in the fandom. That Isaac and Joshua started as Isaiah, I think, and Yeshua. So Isaiah is fine. Isaiah is fine-ish as a name. But to be fair, to be absolutely fair, Isaiah is not something you'd hear modern people use. Not to mention Isaiah is just not. Isaac is white. I kind of feel like Isaiah has definitely become one of those names that transferred over to black culture a little. And like, not to like be like, oh god, this went valley. I didn't imagine Isaac or Isaiah at the time as black. So I think that might have been another reason. But like, Isaiah was just a very old name. And it was just it just didn't fit the because Birth of the Angels is modern, technically, because they are wearing modern clothes. They're in a modern setting. It's just a very religious setting. It's basically Rome. I just felt like even if you are a very religious parent, which Isaac parent father was, it's just a very old feeling name. And another reason why I was moving around Isaiah is because I also wanted kind of an Icarus thing. Actually, I may have actually had Icarus as one of the original names in one of the drafts. Let me see if I have that. Because I think at some point I used Icarus. I felt like it went Icarus, Isaiah, then Isaac. Where is it? But I just couldn't name a character, I couldn't name Joshua Yeshua because that was on to nose because Yeshua is basically real Jesus. 100% real Jesus now and I can. But because Yeshua was just too on the nose, he had to become Joshua, which is also too on the nose, but it's more ironic. Let's see here. Oh, where is it? Can I open with Notepad? Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Oh no, this isn't, but yeah, I think at some point, Isaac was named either Joshua. I mean, Isaac was named. I have had parts of Birth of the Angels where I wrote down Joshua instead of Isaac. um. Oh no, I changed. Yeah, Isaac was originally Icarus. Okay, no wonder. I did probably consider Isaiah at some point, but I went from Icarus to Isaac. I think that it was a direct thing. I probably did consider Isaiah at some point, and there might be a draft with Isaiah in it. But for Breath of the Angels, I was going solely for biblical names. Like, that was purposeful. It was not me trying to be cheeky. Like, I wanted to go with names of people from the Bible. I mean, like, originally Isaac was Icarus, but that was for... That was the me being too on the nose draft. But names are something you can have fun with. Names are kind of like one of the best parts of writing because you can just have fun with it, or You can be entirely purposeful, or you can just not give a shit. You can have your main character of a fantasy thing named John. To be 100% real, you probably should not put in meaning and thought behind every single name. I'm not always, like, making sure all my names fit my stories. Like, I have a love horror story with characters named Lena and Ulrich, and those names probably have no correlation to the actual story. Actually, I'm going to look up. I'm going to look up the meaning of one of the names right now, Lena. The Dark Lord, Doug. Well, if he's a Dark Lord, maybe. Because people are allowed to change names. People are allowed to change names. But, like, you should have a story to why they changed their name, though. I mean, like, if you're becoming a Dark Lord, yeah, you can't be Doug. Sorry to all the Dark Lords named Doug out there. But, oh, that's traffic lights. Okay, my bad, my bad. My bad, almighty bot detector. Oh my god, they're making me do so many. But, names are just one of those things where what you do is what you do. Why are you making me click through so many motorcycles? Okay. Why? I'm summoning Satan. I can't do this anymore. So, like, yeah. Lena can mean light, ray of sunlight, or beautiful girl. The beautiful girl part kinda correlates to my story, so maybe that's an accident. That's an accident. That's an accident. Let's see what Ulrich means. And not to mention, I steal names from media all the time. If I like the name, it's going inside my head. It's going in there and staying in the vault. So Ulrich means noble or regal ruler. And let's see here. And I stole Ulrich from Koliokos. So that's where I first got Ulrich, and I've kind of kept it in my head. So it means rich, powerful heritage, noble, which doesn't really correlate with my story. But like names are something you can have fun with, or you can just okay, thank god that didn't like default my fucking that didn't default to anything. Hold up, let's go back to just chatting. So I can just look at you guys. Hi, chat. Hi, chat. What do you want to do, chat? Let me check my telonym again. Just to make sure I don't have any questions. Because I don't. I'm sad. I'm kind of sad. But yeah, any other questions? I'm here. I'm here all night. Unless we have no questions, then I'm quitting at 10. Unless we have no questions, I'm quitting at 10.
it's it's not really. I don't really mind it because I know I'm small. I'm super small. I'll go right after this. You should. Maybe I should quit so that y'all can write. Y'all can write with me though. Maybe I should just spend the rest of the stream writing though. Like, I feel like honestly, I probably should. I'll tell you what the deal is. I had my sleep schedule's been awful. So like because like last night Frogat was staying up until 3 o'clock playing the Baldur's Gate. Actually, you know what? Since we have time, I want to talk about it. I haven't played it. I just want to talk about the character customization. Damn it. Fucking ads. 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 What we would do without ads? We'd probably be enjoying ourselves more. I'm telling you that fucking right now. Yeah, you should play Baldur's Gate 3. It'd be awesome. But I'll talk about when we get back from the break. but but I'm going to look into ads. I'm not sure if I have to do them as an affiliate. I'm going to talk to my friend about it. Let's see here. Who? I'm just looking at who we're gonna rate, cause I don't have anything to talk about for the next hour. I mean, I can talk about myself, but then that leaves nothing for me. That leaves nothing for days later. We can't have all the cake today. We gotta have some slices left for tomorrow. I could. I need to work on my Discord. I think I'm going to have someone help me with my Discord later. I need to, let's see here. Um, da da da. I think we'll raid Artemis later, right after I finish talking. Because, like, I don't want to start a raid in the middle of an ad break, even though, like, I know everyone who's probably watching is probably subscribed. But I just don't want to leave anyone who is not a part of, who's not subscribed in the lurch and like crazy. So like I think we're going to raid Artemis later, because she debuted a new model and I have to go support her. So we'll be doing that. Wait. Oh wow, my OBS is being a real thing. My OBS being a whole issue. Whole issue. Welcome back, everyone from the ads. Welcome back. If you're a part of the not subscribed to crew, sorry if you're not. We'll fix that one of these days. But as I was saying about Baldur's Gate, I actually really enjoy the character creation mode because it has a lot of anime adjacent hairstyles. Why? Why is OBS being mean to me right now? I'm not even doing anything else. Okay, you know what? I think we have to
close the video game lounge. Let's just close. Let's just close Opera. Let's just close Opera. Because OBS wants to be mean. Are you happy now, OBS? I closed my emotional support internet. But as I was saying, I enjoy Baldur's Gate character creator. Cause like, it has enough anime prettiness. I know I was talking about this yesterday with the ugly as hell Skyrim people. Yeah. But the half-elves, pretty enough. They're, a lot of races are actually very pretty. Look how I've done to me, OBS. Yeah, OBS is behaving now. Now that I've closed my therapy internet. Now that I closed my therapy internet. You wanna know what OBS is gonna take away from me next? My sugary drinks. And if that happens, I don't know what I'm going to do. If OBS takes away my sugary drinks somehow. I'm going to be dead. But yeah, I actually really like Baldur's Gate. Even like Vanilla. The character models look amazing. Like the character customization. I do hope in a future update you can cause here's the thing, you can change your pronouns and also change your genitalia. I'll just outright say it. I don't care, I'm not making money on YouTube. I'm barely making money here. But if you use the base female body, any of the two, usually two, like the taller races get two. If you use the base female bodies though, you have to have the breasts. So like, of course. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Oh no. It's fine here, just a bit of lag. I don't know what's happening. Because my OBS says connecting to chat, which means I've usually disconnected the internet. So I don't know what's happening. I'm not sure if I need to update. But I guess my OBS decides to crap out on me when just when I said genitalia. Of course, it's a child. It's a child. We're gonna raid someone cause I'm not sure what's wrong. I'm not even doing that much. Oh, hold up. Did I close that out? I closed that out. I'm not even running anything that should make my machine run all that hot. OBS, why you do this to me? Okay, it looks fine. No, it still says I'm in the red. Oh, no. No, 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 no. I can't control through chat anymore. So, yeah. Okay, I'll keep talking. I really like Baldur's Gate for the character customization. But I'm hoping they decouple breasts from body. I hope they do that at some point. Because here's the thing, you still can't make you still can't make femboys, you still can't make twinks in these games, and that's still kind of pissing me off because I prefer the 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 twink body and not the twunk body. And here's the thing, all of them have muscles. They always have muscles. It's like overheating to the point where the console is like, close now or else they'll be damaged. Ah, just like my brain when I go anywhere. Close now or there'll be damage. me me when I was working retail. Close now or there'll be damage at 9:55 when I was supposed to close at 10. Yeah, I don't, yeah, I don't have anything else planned for the stream. And OBS is being a hot pocket. OBS is being a hot pocket. So, not to mention, I'm probably, I probably have friends calling soonish. I had a good stream. I kind of wish I planned more, and there is more I want to talk about, but OBS is doing this, and I'll just put more into a future thing. So I do have more writing workshops planned, and I hope y'all join me. But for now, let's rate someone, cause OBS is being mean. Okay. Get the marshmallows. I'm roasting them on my laptop. Yeah, right after this, we're doing a marshmallow roast. Oh man, Joe Cat's doing the J Omega Protocol though. Yeah, so if you wish to engage with me further, I have my Cauldron, my Discord. Let's see here. Why did Artemis close out already? Because if Artemis closed out, because I think Artemis started earlier than I did. Yeah, I think Artemis just closed out because I'm not seeing her on my raid anymore. Let me double check though, because Artemis just debuted. And I want to be nice. She debuted her 3D? I think it's the 3D. Yeah, it's saying... Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to... Stream Manager... Raid Channel... Okay, oh, there we go. Okay. Thank you all for joining me. Damn it, OBS stopped acting up. Thank you all for joining me. I hope I changed your fate for the better. I hope you all leave the sacred night slowly and go on into the sacred day with joy and a good fate. I don't know, I'm going to get a good outro one of these days, I promise. Thank you all. Farewell. And may your night be nice. Bye.